Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Um, Welcome to this masterclass training brought to you courtesy of Team Whatever It Takes, TWT, and Team Whatever It Takes is a group of people, both men and women, who have come together in the quest to succeed both in business and in life. And more so, we are particularly the network marketing business. And so this masterclass training is for members who are among the team Whatever It Takes. And so I think I'll start my training, And today we are going to learn something very exciting in our business. And in the network marketing business, we all understand that network marketing has been there for the past 100 years. It started in the US, and then in the last century, we've seen companies that are particularly they're doing the network marketing, they're in the network marketing industry. And so to begin with, I just want to say that network marketing is a business, and it's a business that it entails two things. There are two elements to look at when it comes to our business. So our network marketing has two elements, both people and what we call products. And so, ladies and gentlemen, network marketing, I just want to put this across for all of us, just to get, is that the business is 10% products, 90% people. To really make it and become successful and become a top earner in our business, you should understand this, that 10% is products, product knowledge, sharing the product, that is 10% of our business, and 90% of our business is people, sharing the opportunity with people. And so to be very successful, you have to combine these two elements in order to make it in network marketing. I've seen business builders out there focusing only on the products. In turn, that makes them retailers and all that. That is not bad, it's good. But most of the people who come in and focus on selling the product do not become top earners. They'll make money, however, they'll not become top earners. To become a top earner in network marketing, you have to build your business with people. And so today I'm going to share about or talk about the second element of our business, that is people. Because I've said 10% is product, that is sharing the product, and then 90% of our business is sharing the opportunity with people, meaning that you get people into your business, because in our business, whatever builds our business is people. It's people who build the business. And so for you to become a top earner, to become wealthy in our business, you need to concentrate on people. You need to focus on people. So I'm going to actually share about the skill with people. As I've said, that 90% of our business is people. And so you have to have a skill with people. You have to have people skills. And so, as I proceed, as I've said, that I'm going to focus on the 90% that gets that will make you a top earner, and that is people. And so the idea is to have skill with people, and skill with people is the most rewarding of all human talents. Your skill with people determines the quality of your business success, your family life, and your social life. And so, as you've seen the statement in front of you, that skill with people is the most rewarding of all human talents. And that's why in business, particularly, you have to have skill with people. You have to have people skills. And so, as I proceed on, I just want us to know that to become a top earner in our business, you have to have skill with people. You'll have to prospect, you'll have to sponsor people into the business, and you'll have to provide leadership to the people whom you have in your business. Of particular interest, today I'm going to talk about the 10 principles for effective sponsoring. The 10 principles for effective sponsoring. So, in actual sense, we have principles that will help you to effectively sponsor or to convert people into your business. I know there are many principles out there, but these 10 principles are important because this is what will help you become that top earner. As I've said, your skill with people will determine your success in business. The 10th principle for effective sponsoring is actually the 10 skills that you need to have in order to sponsor people into our business. The term sponsoring means that you're getting people to actually join you in the journey of success, to join you in the business. So that is all about sponsoring. Sponsoring is actually because we normally like differentiating these terms. There's sponsoring and recruiting. Recruiting is basically getting people into the business to join the business, but after you've taken the commissions, you leave them just like that. However, sponsoring goes beyond recruiting. It is actually recruiting and then providing leadership. So that is sponsoring. So we want to be very effective in sponsoring. We want to be effective sponsors. And so how do we go about it? So I'm going to share this briefly. Number one skill is do not criticize. One of the most important thing to understand is as do not criticize. And what do I mean? Most of the time we go out there and we want to get people to start our business. Most of the and the problem with most networkers is that you go out there and you want to show the other person that whatever they're doing or the state the state they are in life at that particular moment is not right. Where they are in life is not where they should be, you know. So, for example, they are doing they engage in a certain career, they engage in a certain profession, or they're doing something at that moment. And you go out there and you tell them that network marketing business is the business of the 21st century. And if you are not in network marketing business, you will not make it in life. You go out criticizing people for who they are and not necessarily for who they are, but for what they do. What I know about life is that everyone has their own line of specialization. Not everyone is meant to become a doctor. Not everyone is meant to become a lawyer. Not everyone is meant to become a shoe cobbler, And so you have to go out there with the attitude of not criticizing people for what they do. Let me just allude to one fact that network marketing business is not for everyone. It's for anyone, but not for everyone. Let me just repeat that. Our network marketing business is for anyone and not for everyone. And so you should understand that criticizing people for what they do can be dangerous, and it might actually put off a potential prospect, a prospect who will have otherwise joined your business. And so whenever you go out there in the quest to sponsor someone, do not criticize them. Do not criticize what they do. Understand that the state in which they are, whatever they are doing, is what is bringing food to the table, and that is what they are doing. And before you came into their life, that is what they were doing, and that is what has gotten them where they are. And if you think whatever you're doing, whatever you're giving to them is only what can change their lives, that's a bad assumption. That's a bad assumption, because they might be comfortable where they are, what they are doing. So this is one of the things that I see with most networkers. Number two principle is make friends before you make converts. Make friends before you make converts. This is very much important. Making friends is important because most networkers go out there with the attitude of making someone join the business and they have not made friends yet. Making friends is very important. You can never underestimate the power of making friends. You ought to make friends first. Get to know them, get to know their family, get to know their interest, get to know their education, get to understand who they are first before you give your presentation or before you give what you have to offer. And so making friends is very paramount because it will help you in creating what we call rapport. Rapport is very important because you have to create rapport, and that is actually making friends, ensuring that this person likes you, Friends like friends, Friends like friends. And so it is very important to understand that when you make friends out there, the prospects will take you and what you have to offer seriously, because it's not about what you want them to do. It's about, first and foremost, understanding their situation in life, understanding who they are first before you actual sponsoring. So making friends is so paramount. You don't go out there and start uh, pitching your business idea, pitching your business concept. You go actually out there to make friends. Go out there to create rapport. Ensure that you get to understand who they are first, get to understand what they do. And let me tell you, this will work wonders. I've been using this principle and it works most of the time. I go out there and I actually make friends, because when you do that, these people will like you. The prospects will like you. They will like you because you are more interested in them than in what you want to offer them. So making friends is very important. Making friends is very important. The third thing is be interested with what they're interested in. Be interested with what they're interested in. Now you've made friends. Now ensure that you become interested with what they're interested in. And how do you do that? How do you do that? You do this by talking about their interest. Talking about their interest. And so let me just put something across. Let me actually put something across that will blow your mind. Something that will blow your mind about what I'm just telling us now. This is something that I've actually learned throughout the years when it comes to people skills, and this one will actually blow your mind. Now you have to understand, you have to ask your question. You have to ask this question. What is that thing that people or a person is interested in? What is that thing that people are interested in? What are people interested in? Think about it. All right, let me give an answer. People are primarily interested in themselves, not in you. People are primarily interested in themselves, not in you. Putting this same way, though in another way, I will say that the other person is 10,000 times more interested in himself than he is in you. The other person is 10,000 times more interested in himself than he is in you. And also this can also apply to you. You are more interested in yourself than you are in any other person in the world. And so that is something that you have to understand, that people are primarily interested in themselves. And so this helps us to understand this fact that man's actions are governed by self-thought, self-interest, self-thought and self-interest. And actually, this trait is so strong in man that the dominant thought in charity is the satisfaction or pleasure that the giver gets from giving and not the good that the gift will do. You don't have to apologize, let me tell you, or become embarrassed in recognizing that man's nature is self-interest. Ladies and gentlemen, this has been this way from the beginning of time and will be that way till the end of time. And so, it is a key of life to realize that people are primarily interested in themselves and not in you. And so this is very important. And as I've said, number 10 principle is to be interested in what they are interested in. And how do you do that? It's by talking about their interest. It's actually talking about their interest. When you're talking to people, pick out the most interesting subject in the world to talk to them about. And what is the most interesting subject in the world to them? Themselves. That is the most interesting subject in the world to them. That is themselves. And so when you're talking to them about themselves, they'll be deeply interested and utterly fascinated. They will think well of you for doing this. When you talk to people about themselves, you're rubbing them the right way. You're working with human nature. When you're talking to people about yourself, you're rubbing people the wrong way and working against human nature. And so ensure that you take away from your vocabulary these 4 words, that is I, me, my, and mine. Most of us, we normally talk about ourselves. We normally talk about ourselves. And so as I conclude this part is I'll just give examples of how you can use these principles in order to win someone. And so this is how you do it. If you will maneuver people into talking about themselves, they will like you very much. This is done by asking them questions about themselves, such as, for example, I'm going to use such examples. Maybe you can just find it and you can use it. For example, you can use this example. How is your family? Mary. That's example number 1. Example number 2, how is that boy of yours in the army coming along? Where is your married daughter living now? How long have you been with the company? Is that your home? What do you think of? Is that a picture of your family? Did you enjoy your trip? Did your family go with you? And so this is very much important to understand that people are interested in themselves, and so the whole point is to get them to talk about themselves, get them to talk about their family, get them to talk about their interests, get them to talk about their education, their spirituality. Let me tell you, you will win someone. Someone will become your friend, and it is easier to sponsor such a person in the business. Now, number 4 principle is to become genuinely interested with the other person. That is building on point number 3. And so the whole point is actually ensure that all that you do, all that you say, ensure that you're talking about them so that they're going to see that you're genuinely interested with them. And that is number 3. That rides on number 3 point. Number 5 is give your first best impression. Give your first best impression. And how do we do that? We do this by giving a smile. Let me tell you, someone will give an impression of you within the first 10 seconds they've met you. Let me just repeat that. Someone will judge you or will give an impression of you, whether you're a good person, whether you're a bad person, whether you're a focused person, whether you're so-and-so, based on the first 10 seconds of interacting with you. So if you meet someone and you interact with them, the first 10 seconds, they'll be able to judge you. Even that applies to you. The first 10 seconds, you're able to judge someone. So in our business, if you want to win people, your first best impression is offering someone a smile. Offering someone a smile. And that works. It works anytime. It works anytime. And so you want to meet someone, give them that first best impression. And let me tell you, they will think of you either as someone who is, because you see, people want to follow people who have a good mood, people who know where they're going. So for example, you're meeting someone for the first time and you tell them that, and by the way, the business that I'm doing, I'm not really sure whether it works. And in fact, it's not really, it's really hard and all that. Now imagine you're giving someone that first impression, and you look like, even your facial expression, you look like someone who is tired, you look like someone who is not okay. Let me tell you, that one will determine whether this person will want to follow you or not, and that's why it's important to actually make that first best impression. Give them a smile and tell them, by the way, so and so, I work with a company that is expanding in Africa, and it's expanding in a way that is great, and we are looking for 10 to 20 people who we can work together with and change the lives of Africans, or change the lives of people around the world. I meet someone in the street and I say, hello, my name is Brian, and I work for an international company, has a well-renowned product, and we're expanding in Africa, and we are looking for 50 people to expand, to lead expansion in Africa. You know, by just doing that, by just saying that, someone will think of you well. They'll think that you actually are owning that company. And so when you're approaching people, ensure that your first impression matters a lot. And so you ought to give them a smile, you ought to be confident, you ought to show them that this is a business that empowers people. And so confidence and is very key. So you ought to give someone a smile and be confident in what you're saying, because that's your first impression and that matters a lot. Let's go to the sixth principle. Remember to call people's name. Remember to call people's name. Remember to call people's name. And why do you do that? Why do you have to call people's names? And so what we've discovered over time is that all right, so what we've discovered over time is that people are interested in themselves, as I said, and when you're calling people by their names, you're actually rubbing them the right way. You're actually rubbing them the right way. And so how do we use this skill to ensure that we are able to win big, we're able to win big, and we're able to do it very well? So this skill is something that emanates from the third skill that I had said. Be interested with what they're interested in, and becoming genuinely interested with other people is all about, when you meet someone, ensure that you remember their names. Why is that important? Why do you have to remember their name? Is because their names, it shows that you're interested in them. It shows that you're interested in them, and that makes someone important. They feel important. And so, as I said, the idea is simple. Ensure that you are getting people someone's name. When you call someone by their name, you're rubbing them the right way. Have this habit of remembering people's name and to always call them by their names. The next principle, ladies and gentlemen, is to become a good listener. To become a good listener. This is one of the most important skills. The more listening you do, the smarter you will become, the better you'll be liked, and the better conversationalist you'll be. And so the idea is simple. A good listener always winds up far ahead of a good talker in the affections of people. This is because a good listener always allows people to hear their favorite speakers. That is who? Themselves. And so becoming a good listener is not an accident. And so you have to pay attention to these 5 rules which make a good listener. Whenever you're listening to someone, ensure that you look at the person who is talking. That is important. You have to, anybody worth listening to is worth looking at. Ensure also you lean towards the speaker and listen intently. Appear as if you don't want to miss a single word. Another thing about listening is to ask questions, which I'm going to come to that later. Is just part of the principles of part of this principle. And remember to stick to a speaker's subject and don't interrupt. Ensure that you do not interrupt. You'll notice that these 5 or whatever I've just mentioned are nothing more than courtesy. Never will courtesy pay off for you so much as it will in listening. So becoming a good listener is not by accident, it's actually a skill we have to learn. So the whole point is to get people to talk about themselves and you become a good listener. Number 8 is to ask questions. Number 8 is to ask a question. And then the reason why you're asking a question is simply because you get someone to talk. All right. Asking a question is actually allowing someone to talk, because you never know what someone needs until you let them talk, especially in our business. Maybe you are presuming that the prospect you're talking with wants, you're just presuming that they want the business opportunity. However, you might be wrong. Maybe they want the product. And how do you get to know that they want the product? Is actually by asking questions. And actually, you have to become a good listener, because you will never know what someone wants until you listen to them. Because most of the time, we presume that people want to become members in our business because of the same reasons we got in. And that assumption can lead you to mess up, because you might be thinking someone is interested. For example, maybe the reason why you joined the business was because you want to become financially free. And you go ahead and assume that the person you're talking to, financial freedom is the same reason they might want to get into the business. Let me tell you, there are people out there who are financially free. Maybe what they don't want is what they don't have is time freedom. What they want is time freedom, and maybe they've seen an opportunity of time freedom in our business, and you go out there pitching and focusing on financial freedom as if they want. Maybe this particular prospect, he has all the money, but he wants to travel, and our opportunity gives that. Our business opportunity gives that opportunity to travel. And so how will you know that this person wants to travel, wants time freedom and all that? Good way is to ask questions. Ensure that you ask questions, because you'll get someone to talk about themselves, and you will know in actual sense what they need. Now, the next principle is to ensure that you make people feel important. Ensure that you make people feel important. And why does this matter? Why does this matter? Why is this skill matter? Why is it important to ensure that you make people feel important? You see, in life, there's this one great need that a human need, that is human in nature, that people actually want to feel important. People actually want to feel important. And so, ladies and gentlemen, if you understand this skill, you never go wrong. If you understand this skill, you never go wrong. And let me just sip this. Let me just sip this one. Okay, just sipping this one. Now, how do you make someone feel important? Is by letting them talk about themselves and talk about themselves with them. Ensure that you let them talk about themselves, and when you're talking, talk about themselves with them. That is how you make someone feel important. Because let me tell you, people want to feel important. People want to feel important. And so the way you do this, you make them talk about themselves. And whenever you're talking, talk about themselves with them. So this is very important, because the other person will think of you, will think highly of you. The last one is to avoid arguments. Ensure that you avoid arguments. Avoiding arguments is one key thing that we have to learn. For example, you go out there, you prospect, and you tell someone, we have a wonderful product that can help them in their health. And then you hear someone says that, in fact, I've used this product. I know supplements do not work. In fact, sorry for that. In fact, one of my friends used these supplements and they actually died. You know, what will come into you is you'll want to get into arguments. For example, you'll start defending yourself. You're now defending the supplements. You now start trying to argue in order to win, and that should not be the case. Of course, out there we'll meet negative people, and at times these negative people, they come to our business. You come across them for a reason, just to strengthen your character. But a poor way of engagement is arguments. Ensure that you avoid arguments as far as our business is concerned, because we came to discover that a man convinced against his will is of the same opinion still. A man convinced against his will is of the same opinion still. And so the whole point is ensure that avoid arguments, because if you win the argument and the other person loses, it shows, or it brings about something we call inferiority complex. Inferiority complex. And so, ladies and gentlemen, these are the 10 principles for effective sponsoring. If you want to become a master sponsor, these 10 things are very important in our business, and they can get you places. They can get you places.